Linda Burney, did you know about this?
Good morning, Laura. How are you? No, I wasn't aware of this, and my understanding is that the FOI that is being used to uh, base these assumptions on is in fact 95% redacted. So I'm not quite sure what you can get out of something that has that many reductions in it. And
Well,
quite frankly,
the anecdotal evidence alone is pretty scary, isn't it? The price of alcohol going up, the number of cars being sold, and it's all coinciding with this increase in
yes.
job seeker and access to early super. Should Indigenous Australians in some of these remote communities, should they have been prevented from doing this, or what should have happened?
Well, I'm pretty sick of people that are disempowered and disenfranchised getting the blame for things. If these stories are correct, it seems to me that the focus needs to be on those people that are doing the grog running, those people that are doing the white shoe brigade and going into communities and selling products at very inflated prices, and particularly if it's correct about the second-hand sales car yards, then the focus needs to be on the people that are inflating the cars. The other thing, of course, Laura, is there aren't a lot of First Nations people that have healthy superannuation accounts. And the idea that somehow or rather the stimulus payments that were part of COVID should be treated in a different way for First Nations people, in my view, is not appropriate. I've spoken to the Shadow Minister, Stephen Jones, this morning, who has responsibility in the area of superannuation, and he advised me that similar things about purchase of alcohol and gambling increased in the broader community when the government gave people the capacity to access superannuation early.
Yeah, that's a really good point, that it is happening in the broader community as well, not just in the Northern Territory, which Matt Cunningham has indeed pointed out. But
yes.
I guess the perception here is the problem, isn't it, in many ways, Linda Burney? I mean, the narrative is that some people in these communities can't be trusted with more money. How do you counter that today?
Well, you know, I'm quite disgusted by it. I mean, I've been to some of these communities, Laura, and I know that you're very aware of it as well. And the real issue, the broader issue, is the absolute poverty that exists in these communities, the desperation that people feel about the future of their children. In many of the communities that you're talking about, if you want to get a secondary education, you actually have to leave your family, leave your country, and leave your community just to get a secondary education. I'm not talking about a tertiary education. I'm talking about a secondary education. And the level of poverty, the level of remoteness, the level of the health crisis, the fact that people are living in homes where there are 3 bedrooms and 30 people. And of course, in situations like that, you're going to have issues around safety of children and safety of women. None of that's a surprise to me. But quite frankly, there needs to be a reflection by everyone, and I agree with you about perception, that people who are living in those circumstances get to a level of desperation and disempowerment that is enveloping.